Hi there, everybody, and welcome in as UMass Athletics presents a mid-year catch-up with the Director of Athletics in his second full year, Ryan Bamford. And we thank you so much for joining us. First of all, happy holidays, Ryan.
Thank you. You as well.
So it's been really an exciting year thus far with all your programs, and we're going to start by talking about the marquee sport. Football went through its first season as an FBS independent. It was a gauntlet of a schedule. It was tough. The guys acquitted themselves pretty well, though. Your overall thoughts as year one of an independent season?
Yeah, I'll tell you, it came and went pretty quickly. We had a really hard schedule. I'm extremely proud of what we did in that schedule. I will tell you, building that schedule, I certainly didn't do us any favors in terms of our first year as an independent. I'd be the first one to admit that. I will give all the credit to Coach Whipple and his staff. They knew the schedule. They looked at it as an opportunity. We saw some benefit in our recruiting to that schedule. Kids were excited about some of the things that we had going in the program as we started our independent season. And really, I saw some progress this year, to be honest. And although we only had 2 wins compared to 3 the year before in our last year in the MAC, I really thought that we did well. Like you said, acquitted ourselves in a fashion that I think we can see some progress and see us start to really trend upward. And that will help us as we move into 2017.
One of the amazing things about the schedule that your team just played, 9 of the 11 FBS teams are going to be in a bowl game.
Yeah.
9 of 11, that's an incredibly hard schedule. But one thing, and I want to follow up with this, Coach Whipple and his staff are out on the road recruiting, trying to put together the next class of Minutemen. And the feedback you're getting, I assume, is that because of that schedule, people are excited to come play here?
Yeah, and that was kind of an unintended benefit for us. Going independent, I don't know that we fully understood that that was going to be something that would help us in recruiting. The fact that we have the flexibility to schedule really competitive games, but also against opponents that as we move into Tennessee next year, we go to Mississippi State, BYU again. Our kids really like playing those type of in those environments and those type of opponents to show themselves, to say, hey, look, we're going to go up against some of the best teams in the country and give ourselves a chance to win. And we hung in tight with Mississippi State this year. We were in a 3-point game with Florida in the fourth quarter to start the year. And you know, I thought that our kids, when they get into those environments, step their game up, and that's something that's going to help us in recruiting, and it's going to help us competitively as we move forward as well.
Speaking of environments, next season's schedule will have a big home environment here in Amherst for every game.
That's
all
right.
6 home games scheduled to come back to campus here at McGurk Stadium. We've had a wonderful relationship, I know, with the Kraft Group and the folks at Gillette Stadium. You're not saying goodbye forever, but next year I know you're excited to get everything back here to campus.
We had a wonderful relationship, have had a wonderful, and will continue to have a wonderful relationship with the folks at Gillette Stadium. The Crafts, the Patriot organization, has welcomed us with open arms, predating me getting to UMass, but I know they were a big part of us going to 1A football, to FBS football, and we really appreciate that partnership. It is something that we're going to continue to activate on moving forward. We do have future games there. At the same time, it's a real positive for us to get back to campus. We've said for a long time that college football is meant to be played on a campus, and as good as the Patriots have been, the reality is it's a drive for our students, and that at the end of the day, as we engage our students, they're our future ticket purchasers, and they're the people that we need to build some equity with in our own backyard. And so bringing games back to campus is really going to be a benefit to us and our program as we continue to grow now going into year 6 of FBS play.
Year 6, what's the schedule looking like at this point as we take a quick peek ahead to 2017?
Well, we've got some really exciting matchups. We've got a lot of teams coming back to play us here. We start some new home-and-home matchups. As I mentioned, we've got Tennessee, Mississippi State, BYU on the road, 2 really quality Power 5 level opponents. But now we've got Hawaii coming back to us. We get them to travel all the way to the East Coast to play us. And then we've got new agreements with Georgia Southern and Appalachian State, who I think the last time we played those schools, we were all in FCS and played them in postseason runs. So Those are two good opponents for us to play in the group of 5 scenario. We've got Old Dominion coming here. We've got a relationship now where we restart a game with Temple. They've got a new coach coming in, so we're going to go to Temple next year. It's a really competitive schedule for us to see where our program is at in year 6. I thought we made strides. It didn't always get us into the win column this year, but I think there's enough games next year where we're going to have a chance. If we make some plays, get some bounces, I think we're going to have a chance to win some games, which would be a really positive development as we move forward.
So we've talked all about football thus far, but there were plenty of other teams that competed throughout the fall season. And as you look back at some of those, such as soccer and some of the cross-country accomplishments, there are a lot to be proud of, right, for your program?
Yeah, Heather McLean, she continues to impress. She wins the cross-country championship in the A10s. Had some good finishes on the team front, men and women. Men's soccer finished in the top 5 again. Got knocked out.
Coach O'Leary's
Yeah,
doing.
Coach O'Leary's been phenomenal his first 2 years. A 4th place, I think, and a 5th place finish. Really excited about his leadership of that program, which has had some good success over the last 10 years. And then women's soccer, I think we had a down year this year. We're looking forward to kind of re-gearing and retooling and figuring out how to get us back into the A10 tournament. And then we've had a lot of success in field hockey. It's been a perennial power for us, and I'm proud of the women and the work that they did. We had an interim coach situation. We had an alumna, Amy Robertson, came back to lead our women for just this season. Came out of retirement, so to speak, and did a phenomenal job. Won the A10 tournament, went to the NCAAs, and ended up losing a really tight game against Maryland in the 2nd round. So excited about them and the future in field hockey.
Let me ask you a little bit more about field hockey specifically. This has been a powerhouse program in recent years, and it seems like now, no matter who the coach has been, they've been able to be successful and compete for, if not win, conference championships. What does that say about the state of your field hockey program and where it moves forward?
It's been one of our healthiest female sports, but it's also been one of our healthiest Olympic sports, independent of gender. And what we've done is we've invested in it as a university, which coming here, I was extremely proud to see the investment that we had made specifically in field hockey. A brand new turf facility, it's 2 years old. That really is theirs, uniquely theirs. And that there's not a lot of programs in the country that can say that. Even some of the best can't say that. And that's something that's a recruiting advantage for us. And now as we look to new leadership, we've got a new head coach in Barb Weinberg who is going to take us, I think, to new heights in that sport. And she's got a great pedigree, played at Iowa, was an All-American there, coached at Maryland, coached at Wake Forest most recently as an associate head coach. So it's along the same lines of the success that we've had under previous coaches. She's the 9th head coach in the history of UMass field hockey, and one of those that I think can continue to take us to the next level as we push out a nationally prominent and presentable field hockey program.
Well, as we move along here on our State of the Athletic Department at the mid-year visit with Director of Athletics Ryan Bamford, let's move to the winter sports, which are actually now well underway. We've got both basketball seasons. We've got hockey. Those are the ones that get much of the attention. Let's start by talking about men's and women's hoops and what you've seen from them for the first month and a half of their years.
I am pleasantly surprised with where we are. I'm going to start with the women. In Coach Verdi's first year, we've got 5 wins early in the year, and really it's a rebuild for them as we made the coaching change last spring. And I think we've built a really good team culture as we start to add incoming prospects to that culture in the future years. It'll really yield some benefit for them. They've got a competitive A10 schedule coming up, so we'll see if we can make some hay there, but excited about where that program is headed. Men's basketball, Derek has an exciting bunch, as you know, you call the games. They're a group that I think is going to continue to grow as the season goes. We've won some close games already this year. We're going to be in a lot of those close games as we get into A10 play. And it's a group that I think athletically is arguably one of the best we've had here. And they're a really fun group to be around. They want to win. There are a bunch of winners in that program right now. They're not satisfied with where we are. So we're going places with this group. They're young, they're energetic, they're going to make some mistakes, but Derek's done a really good job, he and his staff, of recruiting them to Amherst. And then as we start to develop them as players and as people, I'm excited about where that program is going to go.
And I know we have a lot of fun games coming up here at the Mullins Center once Atlantic 10 play starts, but still several here before the holidays at the Mullins Center. So we hope you'll come out and support that team, in addition to Coach Carville and the men's hockey squad, which is showing a lot of improvement, I think, under Coach Carville's first year. There have been some exciting results thus far. Still trying to get the traction going, I know. How do you assess the beginning of his tenure?
Much like Torrey Verdi, Greg has done a really good job to build a culture. And one of the things that always impressed me about Greg when we would speak and continue to talk about building a program is his interest in building the right locker room and building the right culture in that locker room and with the right people. And he's not going to take shortcuts. And that's what I like about coaches who want to build something that's, as I've said, sustainable over time. Greg's been able to do that. I just think by being organized, having that right culture, our kids are working hard, they're prepared. And we've been able to maybe get some results that not everybody expected we'd get early in the season. And we're in a hard league. We're in the best league in the country. It will take us some time to get to the mountaintop, but there's no doubt that we're headed in the right direction in that program. And I think you can see that with some of the early results already this year.
Well, a lot of stuff for us to take in, a lot of stuff for the fans to continue to follow. Again, we wish you happy holidays, happy New Year. Thanks for spending time with us.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Happy holidays to you.
That is UMass Director of Athletics, Ryan Bamford. Great to spend a few minutes with him, and we thank you so much for watching right here. Thanks to UMass Athletics.